Sensitivity is intelligence. With grace and skill, you have abundance. Welcome to the Psychic Hour. Host Kelly Brickel is a psychic medium healer, numerologist, and teacher. Her passions are learning about the soul and energy. Whether it's through spirit, emotion, or vibrational numbers, there's always a pathway of information waiting to help. Now, here is your host of the Psychic Hour, Kelly Brickel.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Psychic Hour on WLTK-DB. Let's Talk Radio. We have Debbie Romero in the house today. Hey! Yes! Always lifting the energy. I love it.
Let's go. Happy Friday, y'all. That's what's up.
She has a smile that radiates and a heart that is just so big. I always love having you on here, Debbie. How are you doing today?
Oh, thank you, Kelly. It's always an honor to be a guest here with you on your show. And Todd opening up the platform. So much love to Todd and to you and the network. This is a blessing to be here with each and every one of you guys. I'm doing good, girl. Like, I'm holding space. I'm happy. I'm feeling good. I got some coffee right here. Like, let's go.
Let's go. Exactly. So I want to introduce you because, hearing whether it's live or, for everyone kind enough to join us on the podcast later, even though Debbie's a beloved friend of the show, I want people to know her talents, her skills, who she is. And with that said, Debbie Romero is an international evidential medium, host of the Spiritual Psychics TV show Things Network and podcast Transcend with Debbie. She holds space collectively, facilitating spirit circles and classes to bring forward presence, healing memories, and symbols that life is eternal. Debbie believes in the soul-to-soul connection. The soul-to-soul connection is one of the most precious gifts one can receive. She regularly demonstrates with Platform Mediumship as well as teaches others. Teaching has brought Debbie great joy of witnessing the transformations and miracles of her students within this work. What is up? You're just doing so many great things. I always love to celebrate you.
Let's celebrate. So are you, girl. Like, I see you with Lisa Williams doing your thing, your master class. We're going to be hooking up a class on Transcend with Debbie. Like, we're going to be flowing. So much goodness to look forward to. You gave me goosebumps as you read that. And I could just feel into all the work that goes into that. There's so much love and so much growth and awareness and hustle of showing up for yourself and for spirit and for the community. And hearing you read that just gives me an awe. Like, oh man, I'm so happy. I'm so honored to be able to just have a little ripple effect to be part of those things,
Yeah, I mean, you have the appreciation because it's the personification of what you're doing. Like, you're hustling. You have 3 shows. You're on Spiritual Psychic TV, Things Network. You have your own podcast. Right. So you're doing circles now every week. So how does it feel to be so active and building what you are building?
Really, I just feel into the nudge. I feel into the guidance, and I feel into the inspiration of the people that I get to hang out with. Eddie is in here from Liverpool, and he's opening up in prayer. Kaza's in the house, and she's doing her thing. It requires the community to hold a link. And when we come together in unity, that fire is just stronger and stronger. And so we all grow and we elevate and we rise our vibration, not only for self, but for each other. And as we continue that, it just strengthens us to want more love, more inspiration, and more passion, because we're all striving to, connect and get that message. And oh, yeah, I just love it.
I love it too. It's good energy, it keeps you going. Like, right. It's just a self igniting engine, like spirit. It really is, whether it's when you're in the moment with spirit or inspiration of spirit, right?
Right.
This is the next time, I'll meet, or this is the next time I get to connect, or this is where my heart is. And really quick, I just want to say to everyone coming in, hello. People are just saying a lot of really kind hellos. Aspen's giving us love. She's super sweet. She's giving us a shout out.
What's up, my
Um,
Aspen? Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for coming on in. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. I saw Monica in there really quick. I saw Keith. I saw Eddie, Kaza, Courtney. So yeah, you got a good group of people right now up in here. Heather, Trudy girl,
Luana,
like Beatrice. Thank you. I mean, love you back, babe. Love you back. Like this is
Jenny.
so cool.
Everyone, yes. Thank you. Isabel, I think you said Isabel.
Yeah, and Luana, Kevin. Hi, Kevin. Thank you for holding space. Thank you guys for waiting so patiently. This is awesome, Kelly. Look at your group of people. So much love up in here.
Yeah, it's mutual. They're coming for you too. It's a lot of love for Debbie, and rightfully deserved. I want to ask you too. So you're rocking the coffee, and I like to talk about this because we always talk about energy a little bit before.
Okay.
For people to relate to kind of that every medium, every psychic, every healer, they're so different.
Right.
So whatever kind of comes up, we just kind of talk it as it comes. So you're talking about your coffee, right? And I know that if I do coffee before a demonstration or even a class, I'm like wired and I can't even think straight. But for you, it helps get you in the zone.
Well, to be honest, I had drank decaf for years, up until maybe 4 months ago or 5 months ago. God help me. I was like, oh my gosh, I will never go live with a cup of coffee ever again.
Okay.
But really, I was doing a paranormal investigation, and it was late, and I remember being really tired, and I was going in about 8 o'clock, and for whatever reason, they like to go in at night, right? And so I'm thinking, oh, let me stop and get a little snack and take it in there. And the gas station had coffee, or no, the hotel had coffee. And I was like, I'm just going to get a little bit of coffee. It smells, our senses, it's just, I could smell it. Like, oh, this smells so good. I want that cup of coffee.
It does smell good.
And so when I got that coffee, it gave me a boost. And mind you, I don't drink caffeine, but the cup was like this little. And so I graduated. If you notice, I'm like, oh, no. But it's right here. So I'm doing really good at it, But really, I'm a natural hyper person as it is. So God, please don't give me too much caffeine, because I'm a hyper going girl. Courtney says, espresso, please. I don't even know how to do a Starbucks order. I'm like, what is that? Like, that is so fancy. Like, because I never really drank some like coffee from this coffee shops. Like, I have my coffee here. My girl at the donut shop, she knows me. She throws my cinnamon in. She knows how to rock it. And so I'm trying to step out and get a fancy coffee. And there's this lavender, there's this maple, and I'm just like, okay, what do I get with that coffee? So now you really opened me up, and we're unfolding coffee, girl.
Coffee. Oh, I think coffee tastes and smells amazing. And you're right, it does perk up the senses. I feel like it almost sends me into overdrive, like it overwhelms my senses. So the smelling, not so much, but the consuming, like I'll have on certain days, for instance, and I know I'm like that way. The less sleep I have, I know it intensifies, but I can just have a little bit amount, and I'm just like, okay, and I can feel my heart racing. And
right, isn't that true though, Kelly? Like how sensitive we become. I feel that the more attuned we are with the spirit world, there are many things that we change, whether it's certain foods or breads or gluten that our body just does not respond well. Some people would be like, we can smell them. I don't mean to be so descriptive, but many mediums that can smell the meat, the everything. It's just so enhanced, right? And I'm trying to say it in a nice proper way, where but our senses do get really amplified. So like if I'm not even drinking coffee and I channel someone that has coffee, I could smell the coffee. So you'd be surprised how our senses can work, right? So everyone's different,
Everyone's so different. And like I know that when I'm even working with spirit, that my heart just naturally like beats a little bit faster, and it makes you a little bit more anxious. So if you have that in your system and then you're adding more of it, sometimes it's like a double whammy. So your body changes, more sensitive you get, just like you said. It's just everyone's so like everyone's so different. For some people, this doesn't even affect them at all. They're like, I can eat whatever I want still. I can drink whatever I want. Like, I don't get affected that way. I get affected in other ways, right?
Right. Yeah, there's certain meats I can't eat. There's certain things that I can't do, and my body would get rash because I was so sensitive with my body. Even like when you're saying your heart races, right? That is definitely an acknowledgement that you are elevated, you are up in there. And so, yeah, we have to be mindful and pay attention to it because our body's changing as well, not just spiritually, but physically. It all plays
Absolutely.
that component role.
I think a lot of people, this is definitely not one size fits all, but I know a lot of people, like personally and just from hearing stories, that they develop a lot of food like sensitivities after they work
Right.
with spirit. And well, a lot of food that we're consuming has a lot of additives, preservatives. And so I do think like when you are working with spirit, your job is to, bring evidence for the truth, to bring evidence for what is coming your way, how you're merging with the energy. Well, think about it. When you're merging with the energy of food and there's all these extra things that shouldn't be there, your body's like, hey, we don't need this. Hey, we
Right.
don't want this.
Right.
Hey, like you don't have to consume this.
Yeah.
So
It's
I think,
responding. Mm-hmm.
right, it's just communicating like it would with spirit. It's just saying, oh, by the way, like since you want evidence, here's the evidence of what's in your food.
Right. But it's so true, and I love what Courtney's saying, well, not love that you're saying it, but she's saying that was me. I didn't want to eat at all. And I find this happens to a lot of people where they just don't have the desire to eat the meat because there are people that are sensitive enough to feel where the product is, being, where it's made, like where it comes from, like there's a history that comes to the impression. Well, I'm going into a whole nother level here,
No, but you're right.
People can really, I'm trying to keep it as light as I can, but there are people can feel the emotion of the animal, the emotion of the vegetables and the fruit, who handled it. I'll give you a secret or something that, I'll tell you something, what happens. We go to like a little restaurant, and if it's like really, intense and the energy is like not vibing with me, I won't get a drink from there because whoever's handling my drink and pouring my drink in, the energy, I feel it. And I'm just like, oh no, that's your energy. You're good. Like I'm the girl that rocks it with my own cup of drinks or whatever. And I come in because I'm that sensitive to depending where I get my food. So I'm not trying to be difficult, but depends on the situation, right? Like, no, I'm good. Peace out. So like we develop what works for us, right?
Right. We develop what works for us, and
yeah,
right. We're all sharing energy, and I mean, there's a modality called water readings where somebody puts their hands into water and you can absorb the energy that's what's in the water. So if someone's handling your food or someone's handling your drinks, there's absorption going on. Absolutely. And
right.
I know that like I was vegetarian for like 5 years because I wasn't really vibing with meat. And then I looked into like really understanding kind of quality and researching food a lot. And so I can consume meat now, but I actually will say no to meat most times unless it's like grass fed.
Right.
And it's just I just don't want it in my body. It feels really heavy. But I was gonna say something, but I saw a light go off when I said like water readings and transferring energy. What were you gonna?
Yeah. Oh, you saw my little lighting get back there. So what happens is, so we're going into like psychometry. And I think, really feeling the energy of the object of, who handled it. So now you're taking this conversation really unfolded from coffee. You all my students here, did you just see how we unfolded coffee right now?
Coffee, and I'll tell you what, it's coffee and sugar and meats.
Yes.
I'm telling you. Those are some of the biggest. I'm super sensitive to sugar. I don't really want it in my system. It'll make me even more hyper, all that. But everyone's so different. I've always been sensitive to sugar, even as a kid. So it's like just hyper, even more sensitive. But
yeah, it's so true. And I think this is where sometimes people can feel into the energy. And this is going by like, why can I walk into that building? Why can I not walk into this? And I remember getting an x-ray done. And I was like, oh my gosh, someone must have laid there that God for I'm so sad for this person, but that I kept hearing stage 4 cancer. And I'm like, for a minute, you have to sit with this. Is this me? Am I having like, oh my gosh, you're filling in the object of the scanning. And then it reminds me, this is the people that come into the scans, into the machines. I could feel into the impressions that were there, or in the elevator, or at a dentist office. We can feel the energy of the impressions that are left behind from the people who were afraid to go into the elevator, or the people who are afraid to go to the dentist or the doctor. So these are a lot of things that we intuitive or sensitives walk into, not realizing that we're feeling the impressions of the energies of the debris left behind. Isn't this crazy? Like, we really unfolding this.
It's really true,
Boom.
though. It's boom. That's being a sensitive psychic medium healer. It's the most practical thing in the world, because we're coming across things constantly, and to understand why they're happening, like you are protecting yourself. People talk about spiritual protection. That's always important, but it's really just protection of kind of like what's going on just in your everyday life, with how you're sharing energy with even people around you. Like you said, sometimes I just don't want people to make my drink, or it's like the people that you meet, right? Like, you might meet a new friend or have a prospect date, and how are you vibing with them? What energy are they giving you? It's really all very real, and it either is good for you or it's not good for you.
Right.
And
but you know what? This is a perfect example, though, too, Kelly, to recognize that I love that you say that. It's just data, everybody. The data is not going to hurt you. It's your way you receive the information and processing it to make sure, okay, is this something that's really physically going to hurt me? Or is this something really that I'm uncomfortable with? And really sitting with it to understand it's just information that we're getting, that we're filling into. How we respond to it is ultimately up to us. And that's going into the unfoldment as a medium or a psychic or intuitive or oracle. We're in that energy field. So it's not to judge the energy, but to be mindful of it, right? So much could unfold in this, and how we respond and how we protect our energy, but also be like, okay, this isn't me. This is just what they're going through. This is what they experience. This is their story. And so we don't carry it. We just acknowledge it and let it go by. So we don't become those emotions that were there. I feel like I had to say that for those that are listening.
There's so many different crossovers, and it is all data. You're just going, oh, that's information. And now I have a better understanding of what's going on. And a lot of times it has nothing to do with us. You're just aware of what you're walking into, so you can either leave or stick around, but that what's happening is not you as you're getting to know the person.
I love that you say that, Kelly, and you said it so perfectly. And I think this is going to help so many people who are so empathic to energy. It's just giving them an opportunity to understand that it's just data. How you receive it as an intuitive and how you break it down. It's really important to stay in that heart space and not to judge, because we're given so much information for one person or a situation or surroundings. A lot of the time it's for us just to say, hey, I'll give an example. I was at a building the other day and I heard airdrop out of nowhere. I was at a facility and I heard like thief, and I was like, oh my God, someone's stealing. Like, oh my God. And I was like, is that a warning? Like, to be mindful, like someone's stealing? And I'm in a carport and I'm thinking, oh, I got to walk through this carport by myself. And it's just a heads up, right? Like, my car is down there and I'm thinking, I'm watching my back, girl. I'm like, okay, I'm good. Let me move my car closer. So how do you handle the information that comes, right? Like, you're going to get the information that's going to come in the way we need it.
And I do think always the more centered you are, the more you're going to be able to understand the subtleties, because it's very subtle. Like, you might get jarred by what something is initially, but it's subtle the rest of the information once you have your attention connected to what am I paying attention to, whether it's spirit, whether it's a sound, or someone saying something like, thief, right? And it's just a process. That's a process of, okay, it's data, and where am I at as I'm receiving the data? Like, for instance, one time I was really tired yeah, and like, sometimes how you can just be anxious when you're tired, right? And I was going to get gas.
Mhm.
Like I just, I wasn't doing anything. I was just like, I feel anxious and I need to get gas, right? It was just one of those days. And this was somewhat like recent, like something like last year. And so I was in just the line waiting to get some gas, and then I roll up and I get out of my car, and all of a sudden I'm out of my car, and I'm aware, for whatever reason, I'm feeling extra anxious that day, right? And I hear an explosion like go off in my mind, like, and I hear the
Whoa.
sound. And I'm
Right.
like, I'm in a gas station, and like things are flammable. And why did I just hear an explosion in my mind? And
Right.
I felt fear, and I'm just like, am I just feeling fear because I'm anxious? And I feel I'm hearing a weird sound, and I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just going to get out of here, and I'm not going to overthink it unless I get more information and spirit tells me to
Right.
look out for something. Well, not more than like 30 seconds later, the car next to me had a really, really loud engine muffler. I don't know. It turns on his car and it's like, boom,
Oh,
right?
girl,
And because
I had a car like that one time. I know that feeling, girl. I've been in a car driving to work, and that thing, baby, was kept going. And I was like,
so
what is
loud.
happening, bro? Like, you trying to like duck, knowing they gonna see me. So I'm the girl in that car, girl.
I think this guy tricked out his car though, because the car looked really fancy, but he tricked out his car to make it sound like really aggressive. So I was like, oh, I just caught the sound wave. That's it.
Right.
Sometimes it's just catching what's just about to happen or what's been there.
Okay, thank you. I just had this conversation with my girlfriend last night. And for those that do psychic investigations, God bless your spirit. So much mad love for you guys, because I understand when we're going into different scenarios, you can pick up, people stealing or someone getting hurt or injured, or, there are a lot of things that can happen while you're just in the presence of the area. And so sometimes, and it makes it feel like it's happening to you. So what means is like the impression, the energy comes really close, and it's like you just felt what it felt like to have this happen to you in a very dramatic way. And you're just like, and you, for a second, I'm like driving on the freeway. So obviously something happened. I just have to sit with it. Did this happen here, or is it something coming? So then you have to sit with the energy and recognize it. So I understand, Kelly, that feeling and how it unfolds in such a deeper way for different type of way we open up for spirit to help and to hold space for the energy. So we are given some serious impressions because we're open.
Because we're
So,
open.
Yeah.
But if the more centered we are, the more we can kind of work with it.
Right.
So on that day, I was anxious, and I was like, I'm still going to be neutral. But wow, that brought me so much fear, because I actually heard the sound of an explosion, and it shook my body. Like it just like, like it reverberated inside me, and I'm like, oh my God.
So you said something twice that a lot of us can hear. But if you're centered, you said that twice. How can one get? I know I'm not trying to take over your interview at all, but it caught my attention.
No,
what would you
vibing.
How would you tell someone in here to be centered, not to carry the situation or story as if it's happening to them?
Sure, yeah. So one, we have to take care of ourselves. That's just imperative. And the more sensitive we become, the more we're pushed and pulled in different directions with energy, with people, because it's so easily and so natural for us to notice things.
Right.
So we'll be pushed and pulled. And so the self-care has to go up so we stay centered more. But what I'm really trying to get at is, in order to sense other people or other environments, etc., accurately, you have to know yourself, because you have to compare what's me versus another. And in
Right.
order to really do that, the self-care has to be high because you have to be like, I really know myself. And it sounds funny, but you have to go, I know what my own shoulder feels like. So if all of a sudden I feel like I have a broken shoulder, I know it's spirit. I know it's going on with somebody's body psychically. I have to know my own heart. So if all of a sudden I'm angry, I know that's not my heart because I'm not angry today. It's
Right.
because someone's going through something or something's directed at me or whatever, but it's not
Right.
my own.
Right.
And the when we're anxious or if we're going through personal things, like we're only human, we're going to be all mixed up with whatever is making us feel that way. And so even if we have something coming on in, like a sound explosion, for instance, I'm aware on certain days where I'm like, whoa, like I don't feel zen. So something weird just happened. So I don't know what it is. So I'm going to stay neutral, but my perception is not as clear as it normally is. So spirit helped me out. And I'm not going to try to think too much into this unless it is something I need to know about. And let's just get out of here.
Right. Because you will walk into so much information. It's really up to you to decide, okay, I'm okay with this. I understand this. And it's just not judging what you're picking up and just continuing to be on your merry way. I love that for you. I love that you say that the journey to thyself is so important. And I think it is a very important journey. For those who have worked with me, know that that's the first thing I do is to go into the healing for self. And I feel like it's always an everyday thing, everyday thing that we have to go into. Even though we worked on one area, surprise, another layer, surprise, another layer. And it just gives you the opportunity to develop the rhythm of understanding where you are with yourself today. We always change and we're always ebbing and flowing. So give yourself some grace when you may have missed it or may misunderstood it, because that's the process between you and spirit working together to develop the rhythm of what things mean for you. So
yeah, it's the rhythm of our life and things unfold at different times for us for all good reason. We're going to be going into readings in just a little bit, but I see a question being popped down that I actually think is in the vein of what we're talking about too. Ward is asking, how can I know the difference between clairvoyant and clairsentience? Because I feel like I'm clairvoyant, but then I realized I am because I am empathetic. But empathy, oh, it just changed up. Where is it? Where was the question? Okay, but
sad that
empathy is feeling emotions. So I am am I clairsentient or clairvoyant? You're both, but yeah, let's go into it. Debbie, would you like to take that
so
first or
spirit's going to use whatever clair that they can get to you first. So let's say you have all your senses, right? All your chakras, all your vortexes, everything's open and it's connected to spirit. Clairvoyantly, you're seeing in your mind's eye. You're getting glimpses in your head. Oh, that just happened in your third eye, right? Or in your dreams. How are you seeing that? It's because most likely that's the first way that you're going to receive it. With the clairsentience, that knowing, that understanding, all of that's going to come. I hear, I feel, I taste, all of that. All of those senses are all part of the read. We're all aligned with it. So never say, am I one or the other? You're always all. It's just a matter of how they're blending and working together for you to understand it. If that makes sense?
yeah, absolutely. It's real. Most people get a collection of things, and I would say sometimes it does start with feelings, but if you find that you're getting one or the other or both, it's just highlighting that other parts of you are coming online, and it wasn't like you were one part or the other. You're always just whole, and things are getting sparked in different ways
Right.
because of certain experiences. And you're going, oh, now this is activated. Now this part is activated. Now I know this about myself. And that's what it is. And what I do find is for people who are clairvoyant, granted, there's been times within my own clairvoyance where I don't feel very much, but I actually got way better at my clairvoyance when my feeling was activated. What am I trying to say is, what I'm trying to say is a clairvoyance and clairsentience usually go together the more developed it is. And I find a lot of times that clairaudience and clairknowing can go together a lot too as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you hear something, you don't have to feel it as much, and you're probably not going to see it that much. If you just hear it, you get a knowing of, okay, verbatim, that's just what I heard. And of
Right.
course, other things can come forth.
Right.
When you are seeing something, you do usually feel into the picture a little bit because you don't always get hit with the knowing like you do with just hearing things.
Right.
So certain things can kind of come in pairs, not always. And that's why you're getting them together. So yeah, just watch out for that. It looks like things are on time with you, honestly. If
Right.
you're an empathetic person, you should be feeling. That means you've opened it up. You're back in touch with yourself.
Right. I do also want to say, as I was nudged a bit, this is going back to self-care. So a lot of times people are like, I don't see, I don't hear. You're going to see the way you're supposed to see for you to understand it. They're going to get to you to understand how spirit wants to present itself to you in the way your impressions or your wheelhouse or your stories will be able to relate. Now, you also want to look at where your energy is at for yourself. You know, if you have some things happening with your throat, are you sick? You know, those are going to play factors in how spirit can get to you. There was an incident where I was sick and I went into a demonstration and I could feel the energy, but it was at a distance. It was denser. It wasn't as close. And I was like, I asked my mentor one time, I'm like, why didn't I feel it? And she like, girl, were you sick? And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. I was sick. My bad. Okay. So you have to look at yourself. And this is why it's important. The journey within is going to help strengthen that well-being, those chakras, those vortexes, and bringing awareness. Like, okay, what are you working through? Where are you at mentally, emotionally, physically? All of those play a role in how they connect and correspond to us. If you have your own stuff that's here, it's a structure. You got to let spirit has to come to meet you. It's like they're moving the structures here through your electromagnetic field, and it changes the more you sit in that power and that energy and that frequency and vibration, so you can attune yourself. So really work through that. I wanted to go to Angela's question, if you don't mind, Kelly.
Yeah, go.
That caught my attention. Interesting, Angela, you said, likewise, if you know yourself, you will also know when spirit is coming in. My right eye has been twitching all day. I feel like it's spirit. So when I go into trance, or like I get a really close blend, my eye will start twitching and it'll go up. So you're absolutely right. Our body will respond in that way. So it's important to you to pay attention to that calling card. You know, I feel like this is a gentleman, a father, a grandfather coming in a way that's saying, hey, I'm here. It's like they're just holding your hand. Like there's this, and I'm actually chiming in just a bit here, but just be mindful of that and let it unfold, because that connection is definitely there for you, babe.
Yeah. We all have physical indicators. I know, but I don't get this so much, but back in the day, I used to feel like energy was around my wrists. It would almost feel like I have bracelets, like energetic bracelets swirling around my wrist. It was
Wonder
cool.
Woman!
I was like,
Wonder Woman!
yeah. I forget her brace. What did she call them? I don't know. Her brace.
All I know is like, no, you ain't messing with me today. Not today.
I love it. Or, you know, sometimes I didn't have a lasso of truth though, but I used to get that sensation. Well, we kind of do. I
was gonna say, girl, you have your psyche. You got that telepathic mind, girl, Jedi powers.
And so, right, there's just different indicators. And now I think what happens is, like, within me, rather than things spontaneously happening, I kind of make a decision most times to go, is my switch on? Like, have I turned it on? Because a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times I will be checked out or I'm not looking for that. And I'll be like, oh wait, hold on a second, you know, if I feel it's pertinent. But now I feel like it's almost something's outside of me that I have to pay attention to. But I'll feel like a heat surge too. Like all of a sudden before that I have to be ready, or while I'm ready, I just feel like I can feel like my heart more, just body indications. But everyone has different feelings. I know I have more than that, but that's what's all coming right now. And someone was talking even about, you said, they're referring to, as they develop themselves, they're aware of some kind of mind reading stuff that happens.
Telepathic connection.
Yeah, like Ward was talking about, I experience and see life by putting together ascending situations and experiences. This allows me to come to an outcome in my mind that shows me a way to look behind the reason and the meaning for things. It feels like it lets me do things like mind reading. So he's basically, he mentioned clairvoyance and clairsentience. Well, then that's claircognizance. I feel, tell me what you think, Debbie. I feel like mind reading and telepathy is a mixture of
Right.
claircognizance and clairaudience. That's what I
Okay.
feel.
So I love this because
Well,
this
it's
is
actually everything. It's actually everything, but it's most commonly experienced by that. Anyway, sorry.
Right. And so Ward, you're just coming in hot. Like you is on fire. Like you is really coming in. Okay. So let me tell you, what am I thinking right now? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But really,
Like, you let me know.
No, you really on fire over there. Let me pull it back a little. You can read me. No, just kidding. We really think about it. The connection to spirit is from thought to thought. It can go so quick. It is a vibrancy frequency. And just look at it as like a phone line, and the wires and the electricity that goes with it is just zoom right through, right? When you're really in the zone and you're really amplified, the thought to thought can really take you up. The energy can keep you elevated to that place. If you're able to move in that direction and you're able to chime in, it's always nice to be in a circle or to have someone that can validate, like, oh yeah, girl, like I'll be in a reading and I heard them say, oh, please tell her that I love her. That's a real gentle connection. And from her to her mother, from spirit to her, you have that thought to thought connection from you to spirit world. Well, if you believe and it's there, then that'll allow it to grow and build that muscle, that connection. We have to also remember we are spirit. We are spirit in a physical body. And if we say, Kelly, girl, say number one, girl, say number one, like I'm putting it there. Kelly's like, for whatever reason, I need to say number one, the thought, the intent, it's there. I was doing a reading and this guy, one of my friends, he came in to mess with me and he said, bullfrog, bullfrog. And I'm like, I got to say bullfrog. And he knew that I was in that telepathic connection. So now it's up to you to decipher which words are you going to listen to and which ones are of truth and for purpose of whatever you're trying to do. Like what validates, what is the reasoning, and what, let me say it in a different way. When we're in a dam and all these people are saying, pick me, read me, you have to stay focused and grounded and centered. There's that word again, centered, for the connection and link for that specific sitter and spirit. So, and there's the writing. I love that. So that validates for you how you work. It's ultimately what you're going to do with it, how you're going to use that gift and share it, So I just had to go there with you. I thank you so much, Ward, because you was on fire, like I can't help it.
It's just, we're all connected. So when we have like head tapping or connection experiences with telepathy, excuse me, it just validates that we're really all connected and that we can have these and we do have these abilities. And I think it's like exciting because some of my first moments with clairaudience where I would hear words that people would say, and sometimes they were important words and sometimes it was just like I thought the chips were crunchy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they had a bag of chips and they're like, oh, it's salty, it's crunchy. And I'm just like, why is that popping into my head? And I would hear the words so crisply. It was just the word was dropping into my mind and I'm just like, that's really weird to say. And I'm like, I'm not going to say that because I was in conversation. So I could have actually said it right back and infused it in the conversation. I'm just like, that sounds weird. I'm not going to say that. And then that was the next word they decided to say when I stopped talking because it was in their mind. So, talking about chips doesn't sound very meaningful, but it is very meaningful because that means you're indeed connected with the person's energy and you're picking up what they're picking up. And the capacity of what that can mean if you develop that is phenomenal, because if you really do want to help people, you can really empathize and connect to their situation.
Right. I want to come back to Ward. He's like, you know, Ward, it was a great question. I'm just a little silly with it. I'm so sorry. You know, for you, you're in a beautiful unfoldment. If I really chime in where you are in your journey, you're really in the stars, you're really in those planets, and you're in the cosmos, and you're really connecting in that frequency and vibration. So trust the unfoldment of what you're getting. You know, don't be hard on yourself and just embrace it. Like welcome it, write it down, journal it. It'll help you say, okay, this is what I got today. As Kelly was saying, you know, she gets the words in the airdrop, and you have to trust what you're getting. I will hear words on TV. It's almost like a game for me. Like Spirit will give me the name. I'll get the name, and I'll hear the story, and then boom, there's the TV. They say exactly what I just heard. I was like, okay, so they're practicing. You're like practicing, like, all right, thank you. Like they're just showing me I can hear. Like, all right, thank you, Spirit. A reminder, we're here.
Do that, everybody. If you want to practice with your sometimes future based energy, like what is going to happen next on TV, or you know, if someone's describing a situation, and you're tuning in to that situation that's on the TV or in a movie, whatever you want to do with it. See if you can tune into what's going on. See if you could tune into what the words that they're going to say next, or if it's even a game show, what's behind curtain number 2, you know, like what number are they going to pick, or what is the object? Yeah, it's all you can practice like that. It's not the same as doing a reading, but it helps practice your senses, and it helps keep your muscles flexible. And yeah, like for the last thing I'll say, unless you have something to say too, Debbie, with Ward and what Keith is saying is, yes, you absolutely can just know things sometimes. And one of my favorite things to do if I don't know where something is in my house, or I have a question and I'm just like, or you know, or even a store, where the heck is something, right? It's just you put it out and you ask it out loud, or you ask it in your brain, and you're just like, I need help with this, and it's like Spirit will start to guide you in the direction of where your missing sock is, or where, you know, the magnesium on aisle 3 is,
Right.
or whatever. Like it's just it's a very active process of how you can know things or receive guidance, or actually help to give others guidance. Like we're all we're not just even if we're well developed, we're not just the teachers, we're not just the knowers. We are the student and the teacher always.
Yes, beautifully
And
said.
every student can be a powerful teacher.
Right. I love that, Kelly. Thank you for saying that. I think for me, when I go back into that, it seems to search for all the answers, but I need to start to train my gifts and help others to heal and embrace. Right. So if this is what you're being guided to do, Ward, you know, really anchor that in and put the intent and just ask Spirit to lead you to open up the direction that you know you're needed, and you'll be surprised the right people will come to you. One of the things I was taught earlier on in my journey, and this can help a lot of you learn and develop this, right, is just imagine you're the pendulum. Our body, ourself, we respond to the energy, and just learn to ask yourselves. Just imagine there's an invisible line in between you, and then just yes is to the right, and no is to the left, right? And so if you run into that, right, and you say, you know, is this such and such, yes or no? Close your eyes and see how your body sways. Is it going to the right? Is it going to the left? It's like a muscle test, and your body's going to know. And you really, really want to trust into that, right? So that's developing the yeses and the nos, and just this music plays a beautiful factor when we're working in this and we're doing this work. The songs, the tones, the tunes. Pinpoint whether it's a piano, just focus only on the piano, or focus only on the trumpet, you know, or listen just to the voice. To learn to train the mind to focus on just the one sound, even though there's multiple sounds happening at once. So those are little tips I can leave you with. I hope this helps just a little bit in your journey, the little part that we get to hold space for, because it's a constant unfoldment.
Absolutely. We're always unfolding. We're always working on our connection. And I do think it's really important. You know, Debbie has had mentors, I've had mentors. It really catapults where you are because you're not figuring it out on your own. You have people, accelerating your rate of going, oh, that's just an easier way to do it, or oh, I can just try this or look at things this way. So yeah, there are a bunch of exercises and understandings to develop your senses. Absolutely. So okay, with that said, let's go into some readings.
Let's
So
go.
it's whatever you're vibing, whether it's mediumship, psychic, numerology, cards. It's whatever you're vibing, or if you want to read your coffee grounds or coffee cup.
I remember when I was learning to do tea leaf readings, and the young lady says, "Can you see what's in the tea?" And I'm like, "I don't see nothing. What do you want me to see?" So yeah, like I've learned that, as it goes to the side. A really cool one was the charm readings, where you throw the charms, and the right is oh my God, I was gonna say the right is the future and the left is the past, right? So it's like when you throw the charms, you're reading the energy of the right side, and the left is going. So yeah, we can do it all. Let's just see. I can put your palm out. We'll do the palm, like I'll call it all in. But really, let's go. Let's see who's open here. And so nice to see my friends in here. Trudy, thank you for being here. Kaza, thank you for being here. I saw you on SPTV earlier, Trudy, too, girl. Thank you for supporting and following. Aspen, thank you. So you pick first, babe, because I know a lot of the people, and I just want to follow your lead.
Yeah, okay. So let's open up this space. All right. Right. Let's see. I'm gonna go for Monica.
Right on.
I'm gonna go for Monica. And Monica, if you have a question, you can pop it down, or if you want a general reading, excellent. However it goes. I'm gonna pick some cards for you to open up the space. All right, Monica. Okay, so first of all, I feel like Monica, you are in like a space where you want to transition, and you've been thinking about kind of changing things up. So I'm aware of transition is in the air, but like regarding for you solely. So not the things going on around you with your friends and family, not things going around for you with how you're juggling, but just solely for you, like in your own heart and your mind, your own wants and desires. I feel like you're putting those together and going, I don't know quite what to do for me. I don't know quite how to make space for me, not for the me that I currently am, but for the me that I'd prefer instead. Okay. Oh, thank you. I thank you for understanding this. So it's kind of like, how can I get my mind straight, and how can I get my decisions firm enough where I'm just like, I'm going through that, or I'm going to go doing that, go and do that, or I'm going to let people know exactly kind of like, you know what, I need this, or, this is what I'm working on, and without embarrassment or without people second guessing or judging. Can you understand that? Because I feel like if you kind of told people what was on your mind sometimes, I feel like someone like your family would kind of like laugh. Like they're a little, there's a lot of masculine energy in your family, or big personalities, where it's like they would kind of give you a hard time. Okay, you understand this. Thank you. Where it's like you kind of have to be the status quo sometimes in order for them to be like, okay, Monica's doing her thing, and let's, this is how I see things, and this is how I can wrap my head around praising you. So I do feel like it's time for you to go against the grain, and it's time for you to not put so much emphasis on that inner circle where you're used to having so much traditional support. And it's time to start opening up to different personalities and people, because you're unique yourself. So it's like, yes, you got the support thing. Okay, cool. Oh, cool. That's Aspen talking. But I was looking at comments. But with Monica, it's like, it's time for you to step out and to be in situations where you'd go like, I wouldn't really do this, but I kind of want to do it. So if you kind of want to do it, it's time to make the leap of faith, because you have to bridge the gap between who you are and who you want to be. And because who you want to be is actually who you are, because you've been thinking about long enough about making that next step. The cards I got for you were tearing apart, times changing, and spiritual force. So I'll show you some of them. This is like the times changing card. And this is basically just reaffirming that you're on a new trajectory and it's time to get a little bit uncomfortable, and it's time to feel like that acknowledgement of not everyone's going to get me. And it's because it's your spirit that's trying to shake you up and tell you what's real. And that's where you're going to be your happiness, and not feel so, because I feel bored sometimes because you're playing in the box. You're playing to the rules of what has been expected. And the tearing apart is I'm feeling more disconnected from my family and friends. I'm feeling disconnected with some of my relationships around me. And like I'm having to make some decisions more because I'm feeling like it's not relevant the same way. Okay, Monica, you can understand this. So the main card, and this is in the placement of where things are going, is you becoming that spiritual force for yourself, and doing things that are different, and going, you know what? It's uncomfortable. That's life. Let's figure out what's real. So yeah, invite different environments and people into your life, and go out there and make it happen. That's what I'm feeling for you. Take some steps in that department, and then Debbie, hand it off.
I mean, you nailed it. I know, Monica. So I was sitting here just smiling. The last conversation after our circle was like, Monica, go meet new people, go learn. But, this is the first card. I got 3 cards for you, Monica. So the first card is Wish Wisely. Look how beautiful the card is. And it's so interesting because this morning I was feeling into this here. And if I read it, it says, use your wishes wisely to manifest your heart's desires. Take peaceful steps towards making your dreams come true, which goes exactly to what Callie says, right? So it's all about intention. So you have to be mindful with the intention. I remember in a situation, people had different intents and we were all together working, but those intents were for them. And so we kind of went in our own little directions because they were now focusing on them. And that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. You're starting to step out of your comfort zone, into your own self, to be your own person, your own voice. So be mindful of your intention. Who do you want in your life? Who do you want to bring with you on your new journey? And how will they add or incorporate to what you're about to step into, right? So this is going back to the journey of what Callie talked about. There's a journey that you're going to be stepping into that, yes, is uncomfortable, but I love the green, which is very healing. And look at it, it's like you're facing that, like you're facing it. Like this is like a very fairy feeling to it is what it gives me. It says, it's time to prepare for your journey. You may be prompt or planned. Either way, make sure you're ready when the time comes. So back up your passport now. So if you're traveling, like go for it, girl, right? But I love this end card, which is the flourish. And so if I look at the flourish, and this is such a beautiful card, it's the lotus flower fairy, tells you to learn from experiences, shed your inner light, and any unclear areas of your life, and for those of others. So shed light on what's uncomfortable, what's not being understood. If you're going to family, if you're going to friends, just keep bringing the light, radiate that light, right? And so these are the 3 cards that I got for you. I feel like this is bringing energy back to you as a mother. It's bringing you back to your thoughts. It's also bringing you to your solar plex. And like, where are you giving your power away? How are you in your power? How are you moving forward in your power? And how will you share part of you that's going to flourish and grow and do something that's going to make you feel proud and excited all at the same time? So step into the joy, embrace, harness that is what I feel, anchor that into the earth, and really, really believe that you're doing the right things, and that you're not nothing is wrong. Everything is a learning experience to help you have empathy. So when someone goes through it, you know how to hold space for the situation. So don't look at it as like, this is a bad thing. Don't look at it as like, oh man, that's messed up. Look at it as, wow, what a great experience. I learned from that. I won't work that way anymore. Let me move forward with that. So if that makes sense, bless those energies on its way, and just keep being you, which is pure light and love, and have fun with it.
Yeah, it's not about being perfect. It's not even about being understood. other than understanding ourselves. And the last thing I kind of want to say was, because it sparked something while you were saying that within me. You're going to meet people like within your spiritual development that won't understand you, that are supposed to be the friends and the community. And it's just like, keep going, Monica. Just keep going until you find your group, or keep just
Mm-hmm.
going. And it, sometimes, I didn't vibe people within the spiritual community
Right.
until 10 years later of being in the spiritual community.
Right.
Okay. So don't let the inconsistencies that have happened before affect this journey within you.
Right.
Okay.
Don't be
So
scared, friend. Keep going. Learn, embrace, and take in all the different knowledges. If you go back, I learned palmistry, tea leaf reading, charms reading, crystal ball. Everything is an experience. Embrace it. Whether this is in your spiritual aspect, your physical, like who you are as a person with work, like embrace it, friend. Have some fun.
she's saying yes, yes, she understands. Very true. Love it. Thank you. Thank you for understanding, Monica. And Debbie, you are up next with choosing, and you're on
Um,
fire, girl.
Very cool. I want to come to Eddie because Eddie's in here. Hi, Eddie. Thank you for being here. I got the Precious card, but I also got Protect Your Dreams. So they came together, which I find very interesting. And then I got the Nature's Sign. So let's unfold this for you, Eddie, just a bit. So if I go to Precious Time, it's basically saying the fairies of time wants you to experience every moment fully to make the most of your precious time. Be mindful not to waste time on others. Ooh, so where are you giving so much of yourself, Eddie? Give yourself an opportunity to pull the energy back to nourish yourself. Protect your dreams says you are the guardian of your precious dreams and they are safe in your care. Keep them close and close to your heart. And when you're ready to release them, it's really pretty when I get that card, I literally see the transformations of the butterflies. And it's like all these things that you've gone through have transformed into this beautiful butterfly as if you were in the cocoon. And it's like someone just cuts the cocoon and it's like you're ready to step out of it. So all the work you have done, Eddie, is really coming to fruition. The nature sign says be receptive to all the subtle messages from nature as you go about your day. Nature talks to us continuously. We only need an open heart and an open mind, which I know you have. So when I feel into this, I feel into the seeds that your thoughts create. I feel into the ancestors, into the love. I have a grandfather on father's side who steps down as a honor to you as he bows. Whether he would have had some lung issues or tissue, bones, and muscle issues, I feel that this is something that is within the family. I'm not a doctor, nor I'm diagnosing, but I do feel that someone also in the living is experiencing these type of sensations and pains and aches as well. He comes closer as he gives you that soul to soul connection as his eyes look to you, as he embodies that essence of energy within you because you've asked or you prayed for strength. And so I know that you've asked for strength to get through some situations. As he steps forward, he is coming to hold your hand. Look for me in the flowers as you pull your weeds. I know you hear me, he says. For the wind blows and you could feel into that as your body sways. I could sense that the essence of his spirit, you have a beautiful rhythm of the frequency and vibration. He shows me the color yellow as if either you see the bright yellow that comes very close, a beard of some sort that he acknowledges is very, very similar to that Merlin look. Very similar.
Yes.
Yeah, and I just get that cross that comes close. It's almost like that sacred cross I remove off of me and I place on you as a blessing is placed upon you, my son. Because yes, grandfather, but son, he says, for I am with you, for you are not alone. As maybe you have shed some tears or you have called upon us, please know that we are here. Give yourself an opportunity to breathe into the space, into the timelines that you have conquered, which means you have done the healing work. November and October will be a magnificent time for you to step into more of your power. Come out of that cocoon, Eddie, as we set that energy free. As you move past any obstacles that may have been in your way, we will take you as you fly. And you fly out of that web of energy into the new. Renew your body, your mind, and your spirit. Go into that nature. Hold on to that tree. Feel into our essence and simply believe. So, Eddie, your grandfather leaves you with his love. And I'm just so grateful to be able to hold space for you just for that moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I was like, oh yes, because I saw the long Merlin beard and the white hair and everything, and I'm just like, wow, like that almost looks like it's so mystical looking, right? You know what I mean?
That's
Uh,
Eddie's vibe. Yeah.
and so it was just like a bearer of wisdom, like a wise man, right? Just
Right.
showing up with the energy connected to grandfather. Um, and I just feel like this grandfather with like the Merlin beard and everything is just very low key and just very wise, like I said, and encouraging. And I like what Eddie's saying right now. And there's just, it's like he wants you to slow down. And it's almost like there's like this surfer vibe coming in that he wants you to kind of take on, like just roll with the waves. Just roll with the waves. And he's talking about drinking water and becoming more centered and more calm in your emotions, because you mentioned disconnect, Eddie, with your comment. I saw that, and so it's highlighting that there's disconnect, but there's not enough like just calming within the disconnect. Because sometimes when we unplug, right, from people or other things, we go, okay, I need to, all right, come down and find myself and be calm. But it feels like there's discord with the disconnect. And that he's just reminding you to keep calm with a difficult situation, keep calm. So I'll talk about that, but some of the cards that I got when I was pulling energy for you, I got the overwhelming and drowning card. So that's like a situation that is consuming and overwhelming, and it just feels like, where am I going? What am I doing? It's almost like sometimes it can feel like you're spiraling downward as this situation comes up, and it was indicating like needing a friend, needing better support system. And I know sometimes it's difficult, we don't have the proper support system, but reaching out or cultivating some type of experiences where you can be around quality people, because we need lifelines in life, just like grandfather's a lifeline, you know, with his gorgeous energy. We need lifelines in life with the living as well. And it was also indicating trusting what you've been given, as well as for signs. So I feel like spirit has been working with you to encourage you, just to let you know, like, hey, you have some options. Maybe they're not the options exactly that you would hope for, but there's ways where we can get you out of this slowly. It's just we have to kind of like climb very slowly. You have these options. Um, you know, your wisdom and your spirituality can manifest something to get you out of this. And I got the last minute magic card. So it's like fresh out the gate, abracadabra. And it's a fun card because it's basically saying like, and it's funny how you mentioned like, you know, your Harry Potter reference, and we have the wizard reference too. But like, you know, so just to let you know, got the magic card. And that's all about like you have the magic within you to make things happen. Like you have the power, you have more power than you realize to make things happen. You're an alchemist. And connected to that card, you got the blank card. And when the blank card appears, it's basically always the reminder of you have way more options than you're giving yourself credit for. You have way more power, and you actually have way more possibilities, because a blank card is always about endless possibilities and how you're just not seeing something or reminding you of something. So Eddie, it's like it's time to kind of go and unravel the discord and say, where am I going next? And what does it take for me to be there? And do I really believe that spirit's really going to open the way up for me? Do I have enough trust within myself? Because I'm not trusting other people right now. Do I have enough trust within myself that spirit is going to open the way? Because they've already given you signs where they're on board with you. Okay.
Right.
So, and you say you've been manifesting your socks off. Well, this lends itself to getting out of where you are currently like living as well.
Right. I get the action. We manifest and then we have to step into it. So like Monica and all of us, right? We all sit and we have spirit come in and we say, this is what we want. But there is also the part where we have to do the walk and we have to go into it. And so it's like, what steps, babe, that you're really ready to take those steps, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's scary, if it feels right and you've asked for the help, follow the intuition, have them show you. I had a situation, something was shown to me and it was unfolding. I was like, oh my gosh, that's that. I needed that. Like, okay. So really the walk part, get into it. What can you do to change it physically? Change is so necessary to manifest because we're asking for the changes. So now what part are you willing to do to make it happen, right?
And I feel like Eddie has survival skills. So they're referencing they're referencing some kind of whether it's a metaphor or this is a part of Eddie, but like those wilderness shows or like with camping, like you're shown, or even in the military, you're shown all these things of how you can survive. So I feel like Eddie has some of these skills in his backpack, whether it's spiritual survival skills. It's just survival skills, and the first aid is just flashing like in my head right now, and it's saying you have what you need to survive and thrive. So start taking where you need to get out of this situation, like a survival mission where you got to get yourself out and you have the tools that you need to crawl out, climb out, or run out.
Yeah, he's street smart. I had the honor to get to know Eddie, and not only is he street smart, he's also spiritually smart. He has all the essentials. He's such a diverse, like, wow, overall, just amazing soul. Pleasantly, I'm grateful to get to know you, Eddie, and we're sending you so much love in your circumstances and situations, and all I can say, babe, is that you got this. Give it a couple of days. I'm not predicting the future, but give it about 3 days or so. Like, I feel a lot of movement's going to happen. So hold on tight, babe. You got this. Protection is seriously around you.
Protection seriously around you, and the results are going to boomerang back. So I'm seeing a boomerang, and it's about energy boomeranging back. So it's the karma's coming back. So you put in the work, you're going to get the results. And for everybody else, they'll go where they need to go with their karma. That's what I have to say. So,
right. You go ahead, friend. You pick next, girl.
Okay. Eddie says, thank you. I have meetings Tuesday, so spot on. I'm glad you can understand that. Thank you, Eddie.
Thank you, Eddie.
All right. I'm going to go to Patrice.
Okay.
Patrice. Mm-hmm. Okay. Hope I'm saying your name right. And if you have a question, you can pop it down, Patrice. Just going where I'm going. I'm pulling some cards for you. Okay. Patrice. Okay. So I'm aware of this kind of well of creativity and feelings and emotions, and the cards that I got to help kind of illustrate this are that you're in just recently, and you're still like nurturing this, you're in a place within your life where you had to like make some hard decisions where it made others around you uncomfortable and yourself uncomfortable too. So it's about kind of nurturing the storm. Okay. And there's all these cards around that. Like, how do we nurture that storm of building up your communication with spirit? Because I feel like that is something that sometimes we can forget. We can forget to nurture our communication with spirit. We can forget sometimes to know how much they have our back and how much they can help. And also getting out and having a new hobby and focusing more on mediumship. I'm getting a lot of cards indicating that it's time to open up spirituality, mediumship, support from the other side. Like with Eddie, for instance, I was trying to lean in with him of support within the living. Is that possible?
Right.
Can we get that working? All right. For you, it's support from the other side. I'm going the other angle, which what I would like for you.
Mhm.
And it's basically this next step within yourself of what are things that I already have within my life that I'm not putting emphasis on? It's almost like, forgive me for a lack of better terminology, but it's like, what am I taking for granted that is amazing within my life that can make my life even better if I just do more of it and pay attention to how helpful it is for my self care and for my spirit. And so I feel like there's this, you asked about your love life. And I feel like, so I mentioned the new hobby and getting in touch with like more mediumship and your spirituality. I feel like that opens you up in a place where you are in a happier, more centered place to attract someone to you. I feel right now that you're ready for love. You're actually, certain people are like, well, I'm in a certain phase within my life, but I'm not sure if I'm ready for love, but I want to ask about it. I feel like you're in a place where like, no, I want a relationship. But I'm also aware of, that well of water I talked about in the beginning of I'm still processing emotions. And I feel like again, there's with this card tearing apart, something just recently happened where it did create emotional discord and upset. And you had to really kind of make peace with that if you can understand, and this is something that happened recently with the past couple of years for sure, and there's various events that have happened where really have changed your life, and you're in a place because you're like, I want something different, and some of this is trickling up again, so it's reaffirming like, yeah, I really want something different. I'm ready for that relationship, and it's like, yes, I want those things for you, but I also want you to build up your strength and your peace and your happiness
Mhm.
as you're nurturing healing. So we can manifest actually a person who's in their own healing as well, because we attract similar energy. So if you're like really emotional and you're discord and still healing, and you're like, I'm ready for someone to come into my life, I want a better situation, you're going to get someone who's still going through their healing and discord and looking for someone to help heal their discord,
Right.
right? So it's like, heads up, heads up, up, heads up. I want you to lean into some of the new Beatrice, the new um, confident and zest for life, vivacious Beatrice attributes. And I feel like that thrusts you to where you need to go rather than focusing on the relationship as the next kind of frontier. So Beatrice says, two people in my family passed, but they put me in charge and the whole family went against me, and I found out. Uh, and I found out when they were gone. So unfortunately, yeah, this is a family issue that has popped up too. Yes. And it's just like when we have disconnects, so much disconnect, we go, where can I have connection? So there's disconnect in family, and it's like you're seeking connection in some
Mhm.
shape or form. And the cards are telling me lean into spirit.
Right.
Lean into spirit for it first for the inspiration of the relationship, because there are old patterns here. Even though you're ready and you're in a new place, there are old patterns here I'm aware of. And I want you to find somebody who helps usher you in a new era rather than uh, healing like an old part of you, even though you're the new you. Okay.
Mm.
So I'm just going to say it like that. I'm going to send it back to Debbie.
Wow. Thank you so much, Kelly. Beatrice, I know that you said you had some loss of two loved ones. God bless you. I'm so sorry on your loss. As you were talking, Kelly, I could just feel how awakened Beatrice has become. And so the first thing I wanted to say, I got cards here, but the first thing I wanted to say was that you really do feel spirit. And so either you were doubting or you were questioning what you were feeling into. And I just have to say that you were really feeling the presence of your loved ones. I feel that you also hear. So I feel like you're not making that up. Like I have to validate that you're hearing. You're also feeling a lot of different things. So your body is also in this, sensing it. And so I feel like if the door opens or if something happens, you're really in that connect. You're attuned to a lot right now. Your mind is really focused on the spirit world where you're looking for the butterflies. You're asking them to give you signs, whether you're in the car and your music is playing. I really feel that that's something that you do. They also tell me that the wind chimes are going. So I know everything is catching your attention. So your sensitivity is like on an all high time level. So grounding is going to be very important for you, my love, because it's going to bring all that presence, all that beautiful heavenly frequency energy. It's going to bring that energy here on earth. So we're going to ask that spirit bring in that silver cord, ground that silver cord, ask the angels to help bring that energy into that earth star chakra as our energy is pulled back into this frequency here in the now within the earth. And that just helps bring our energy back, as Kelly kept saying, centered and grounded. So we can always ask in a very gentle way with the intent to ask spirit to ground in our silver cord into that earth star chakra. So that's the first thing I just wanted to say, because that's what was coming to my awareness while you were speaking, Kelly. I got 3 cards. One is stargazing, which is going into the spiritual journey that you're in. And then also the journey, which is you're going to be going into a journey just like Monica, but also the friendships, So it's like, if I look at all these 3 cards and I put them here to the side, I feel like with you, the stargazing, I literally saw you either looking at the moon or you were looking into spirit for some guidance. So you were trying to talk to this gentleman who was very much like a father. And I feel like that breath of breathing, it was like you were there to watch that breath. And I know that you were there to hold his hand. And I feel like this person's in bed resting. So this was an illness. This person is making me feel that I couldn't get up. I was immobile. And I really was like my whole body, just my legs feel super heavy with this gentleman as he comes closer. And so I do know that when you're looking at in the sky, at the stars, at the cosmos, there is that connection to say, I'm here with you. It's almost like that song Selena comes to mind, I'm dreaming because I'm dreaming of you tonight. Right? I love that. I love that. Yes. And so that frequency and that vibration is coming to you because you're dreaming. You're dreaming of them, and they're definitely coming to you as your heart starts to race. That is a closer blend that comes to you as they hold on to your energy, like you're giving you that impression of them holding on. So God bless you. Oh my God, I'm crying literally. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to make you upset, but this is just a validation of the evidence of you being by their side and their gratitude that comes to you. And so please know that when you speak of this, like they're showing me the necklace of strength. So either you also have a necklace that you hold on to, that you just hold on to get, whether this is a cross, your faith. And your aunt was a very gentle woman as you spoken to her. Like, I'm in the kitchen and I feel like you either walked into the kitchen and you were looking for her as you have that memory of the routine, getting your cereal or getting your, as she's cooking the huevito, I feel like she would always make eggs because that's what I'm seeing. I definitely get to see that you see that. And I feel like you would sit there as little kids and there's a young boy next to you and there's just laughter. Remember the fun. Remember the times where we would go camping, or remember we're at the lake and by the water and where our feet are out and we're on that lawn chair. Remember those moments, the love that just comes in and gratitude. I don't know if you have earrings, but she's making me bring a reference to earrings. And I feel that you can smell her perfume, which feels very floral, smells very floral to me. And I know that also her heart, she also would have had something with the heart, because I feel like the heartbeat also, I feel like either this is a heartbeat of a child, a heartbeat of a baby, but I also feel a baby or a child that's also close to her spirit as well. So this makes me feel that you asked them to take care of your children or the children as well, because she's making me feel that she's also watching them. I know that lots of love is coming to this young boy because the baby blanket is blue. So I have to acknowledge this as well. So please know that Spirit's love is with you. I know that Todd is holding space for us at this time as we are coming to an end. Kelly, thank you for holding space. Beatriz, I leave you with Spirit's love. God bless you in your journey, and keep unfolding that, nourish that, be gentle with that. And please know that their spirit is definitely with you. God bless. Kelly, I bring it back to you.
Okay, yeah. With Beatrice's energy, I love the way you say her name. with her energy, I am picking up Ant really quick, so I'm just going to say a couple things about Ant, and then I'm going to talk about what you have coming up for a moment too, Debbie. So I'm aware that this was more that there's I feel like the dancing, the moving within the family gatherings. I feel like she is somebody with like just a big smile upon her face with family. She loves her family, and she was going like this a little earlier. She's going like, no, no, no. So it's like she wasn't afraid to say when things are wrong. So she didn't like the way that this situation was handled. And in the spirit world, it's like, we know when things are not handled in a way where it's, helpful for everybody, and it will get sorted. Just like, she was one to make sure things get sorted if she thought, no, 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 back in when everyone was together. It's like the women would talk and they would go like, no, 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 don't do that.
Right.
So she's aware of what's going on in the spirit world, and she's like, it will get sorted. Everything gets sorted. It will get sorted. And she keeps flashing me like white pants, like in a peach like t-shirt, but white pants and sandals. And she would have either put her hair up or she had short hair. She did both within her life, but I keep getting flashed short hair and then hair up at different times. But, like she's just letting you know, like that everything, okay, you understand that. She's letting you know that everything's going to be okay. And it's like, she keeps seeing things like Mija, but there's other nicknames that she's giving you. She's like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I'm trying to kind of think about, and gold jewelry. She liked her gold jewelry. I don't know how often she'd wear it, but she wore a couple gold pieces. It was nice. She liked it. She appreciated it. And she dyed her hair too, if you can understand that too. Back, I'm just keep getting flashed lighter hair. Back in the day, she would have dyed her hair lighter.
Ooh,
Or
yes.
just lighter hair. Yes. So she's with you, and she's just like letting you know, we gotta go. But the last thing I know, I'm like trying to fit it all. My brain's like closing in on me. Okay. So the last thing I want to say is she knows, because she's showing me the car, and you mentioned the car. She's letting me know that she was in the car with you, and it was like she put her hands on your shoulders to try to calm you. And it was almost like, she was one that used to rub your back. She put her hands on your shoulders in the car, but she was one to rub someone's back and be affectionate. And she's there to comfort you and let you know she wants you to relax. She's like, relax. And she's saying something funny within that. So she had a sense of humor. This woman had a sense of humor, and she'd kind of like do like a little funny jab within her sense of humor. So yeah, you understand the blonder hair. Thank you. So she's saying, relax. We're with you. Don't get so scared. Relax. Okay. But she's giving you a lot of love. And you're referencing that too. Well, even more so why she wants you to relax. I'm sorry to hear that. You're talking about her passing. She wants you to relax, and she's giving you lots of kisses. And with that said, she wants somebody to have her gold bracelets. I'm telling you, she's giving me so much stuff, and I'm like, I gotta go, my love. I gotta go, my love. But I'm gonna say thank you to your aunts, and really quick, yeah. And she's actually poking fun at you for being scared, and she's saying something kind of cheeky within that. So so she has she's trying to calm you down, but she's like, come on now. Okay.
Right.
Anyway. So, Debbie, I want to thank you, Beatrice. Thank you for your aunt for coming in. Thank you so much. And so much love to your family at this time regarding. I want to just really quick before we wrap up the show, go to Debbie for a moment. And Debbie, you have some circles coming up, and you also have a color and clairvoyance class coming up with a mediumship. Can you talk about that for anyone who wants to come?
Oh my gosh, thank you, Kelly. Well, Beatrice, your family was on fire. So, you said really quickly, you told her that you love her. She felt that, she heard that, and you miss her so much. She heard that, she felt that. That's that telepathic connection that Ward brought in for us. And so please know, Spirit is just simply that thought away, right? Todd, thank you for having such an amazing platform for us to come together as a community. My love, my gratitude to you and to everything that you have done, and just letting me be a guest this month with you, Kelly. Always an honor. You can always find me on Transcend with Debbie. The thing I am offering, what I'm guided to do every third Thursday for free, you can come into a circle where we will hold space in honor of spirit, where we will practice and then do some readings at the end with me. And that's going to be done at 9 in the morning. And it's only going to go from 1 hour to maybe an hour and 15 to 20 minutes, because I like to jump into other circles after. So we're all about coming together, holding space for spirit, right? And then this Sunday, anyone who wants to step out of their comfort zone, anyone who wants to do a card reading, a tea leaf reading, a ribbon color, a color reading, a color healing, a poem, anything that's upliftment and inspiring, please come this Sunday from 12 to 2. The link is on my page on Instagram and on my private group. Basically, it's just about showing and holding space for spirit to give that upliftment of healing messages and empowerment. So each person's going to give about 5 minutes to read, and just so that it gives enough people to share who they are for spirit as they are holding space in that love and light, right? And you can find me on a mediumship demonstration. I believe it's on the 23rd for the Independent Spiritual Center. And the beautiful class, here we go, y'all. Spirit is coming in colors. They're coming to you in vibrancy, light. We want that color healing. We want to understand what colors mean. How do we unfold a reading with colors? Join Richard Stuttle as he joins us on the 23rd, and we come together with spirit art, with mediumship, unfolding the message of the color as he gives us healing color attunement. So class is very reasonable. It's 25 pounds, which is $33.33 is what I rounded it off for us here in the States. Phenomenal soul. You do not want to miss it. And Kelly, thank you again for just having me as a guest on your show. Each and every one of you, my heart goes out to you. Please know that spirit is just that thought away, and you are never alone. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Please check out Debbie's channel and her community, Transcend with Debbie. We will be back next week, everybody, for the Psychic Hour and the Numerology Hour. We're going to be having Deidre Sanford on the show for doing double readings too as well. So we will see you then. Thank you so much, Debbie. Please, everyone, go with love, light, luck, laughter, and don't forget to live. Thank you so much, Debbie.
Thank you.
The truth is here and now on WLTK-DB Talk Radio at WLTK-DB.com.